How's it going, everyone? I'm SirJames coming at you guys with another lightsaber video, and a video where it was made possible thanks to the folks over at Cheez-Its. Now, I'm just kidding, they have nothing to do with this video. This video was made possible, though, thanks to the folks over at artsabers.com. What I'm going to be showcasing in today's video is their pretty much Darth Revan package that they have on their website. For those of you who may not know, about a few weeks or a month ago, they were offering a pretty cool deal on their website where not only did they have the Darth Revan helmet, but they had different tiers for the package deals that you wanted to do. So the one that I have is the pretty much the all-in package option where you get both the hilts, I got it with the Profi installed, by the way, and of course also with the helmet that's been on this mannequin for display for quite some time now. And that's what I wanted to showcase in today's video, is to pretty much what exactly do you get with all of this and what are my opinions on it altogether. So with that out of the way, go ahead and move this over. Now, if you're curious, they have different options, so you could opt in to get the helmet. For different bundles, you can get bundles where you get the hilts with the helmet for just one of the options, depending on which version of the hilt that you want, if you just want one of them. Or if you really wanted to get the entire set, then you can get it pretty much with both hilts, the helmet, the whole shebang. And then from there, they have different options too. So if you're like me, who already have a bunch of blades, you don't have to get the blades just to save a little bit of money. You can opt out of that one. And for the install options, there are 3 different ones. If you don't care for NeoPixel, they do have just a straight up RGB option, or they have the Essence Pixel or Profi. But like I mentioned, mine is the Profi version that I have altogether. But first things first is that these did come in separate boxes, the helmet and of course the hilts. The hilts do come in this nice box right here. So very cool. Nothing on the back, you just got your Art Sabers logo there on the front. And these open up like so, which will reveal the contents inside of the box, which we're going to go over right now. Obviously, I tend not to do the unboxing parts just because you guys already know what to expect, but because this is a little bit more of a special package deal, I figured it's best to showcase what you guys will be getting. Now, first things first is that you guys, in terms of your sabers, will come in these nice fancy saber little pouches, bags, which are always great to have. Each hilt is nicely wrapped, so it gives you a little bit more of that premium product that you're getting nonetheless. You will get a total of 2 I was about to say blade retention screws, 2 blade plugs, which are a little bit of a different style. So this is the first one right here, and then for the other one will be in this style. Of course, you have the all-important charging cables, which inside will be your retention screws. Do keep in mind that both hilts do use 2 different sizing for the retention screws. So one's going to be using a little bit more of a smaller one, while the other one's going to be more of your normal size. You're also going to get a little bit of a set of grips here as well, along with the little self-adhesive sticker as well for the grips, so you can go ahead and add these to one of the hilts if you wanted to, or just not use them entirely. I think it's good to have the option there for people who want it, or if people want to do their own, or just leave it as is. Of course, you're going to be getting your hilts. Let's go ahead and start with the first one right here. My camera might freak out just because of the glossy finish on it. But of course, you have your I was about to say D-ring. You have your cover tech wheel right here. Oh man, it's already slipping my mind. This is, like I said, there's that glossy finish. This is a 2-button setup. What's nice is that are these tiny little buttons here, so it makes the overall design of the hilt a little bit more seamless, in my opinion, which is great compared to a Revan hilt that I've had in the past, where it had more of an obvious looking button. Here it's a lot more hidden and looks very nice. And then of course you have the other fancier version of the Revan hilts, in my opinion. This is also a 2-button setup, which the buttons are going to be located here, and there's a glowing effect which we'll showcase when the light is off. You got, of course, your little spikes here. Just recommend not jabbing this into anyone's guts. And of course you have your CoverTech wheel right there. Now both of these hilts, if you were curious, will be using a 1" for the blade size. And that's not all, because you will need to remove the top padding, which, by the way, if you were curious, as far as this box goes, it does have room to store up to 3 lightsabers. So the 2 that came with this, plus 1 additional one. Or if you're just needing to travel anywhere and you want to bring your lightsabers with you, it's pretty much a nice, useful box to have to put your hilts right there, ready to go. Just do keep in mind that they're only going to work with certain sizing of hilts, so if you have like a really larger one, it may not work as well, so kind of keep that in mind. But once we remove that, we are going to get 2 sets of gloves, which are going to have the Art Sabers logo on it. So like I mentioned, the one hilt is very fingerprint magnets, so if you're the type of person that really doesn't want to touch it, then I would recommend getting to this first, and then of course unboxing the hilts. And of course, we also have 2 name plaques. What's nice about here is that it's actually got the name of the character, Darth Revan. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just a company logo, but I do like these name tags a lot more. But it says Darth Revan, the Old Republic High-End Collector's Edition, along with the company's logo. So very nice. You do get 2 sets, just because you're also going to get 2 display stands as well. You guys have seen these stands before. There's a little room there to go ahead and insert your little tag, and you are good to go. And then of course, last but not least, you have some instruction booklets, along with a little thing going here, which is claim your free saber accessory or win a Neo-Pickle saber. So it looks like they have a thing where you submit a, let's see what we got here, send a review video to get a free accessories, blade plug, CoverTech clips. So cool, you have a chance to win some free goodies as well. So there's nothing wrong with getting a chance to win some free stuff, in my humble opinion. But we're gonna go ahead and put the accessories back in here, because I don't really need any of this. We just need the hilts, because that's what you guys want to see, plus the helmet, which we'll get to in just a moment. All right, so go ahead, put this aside. And besides, the box also has a handle. It's just 2 latches. There's no locking mechanisms, if you're curious, just besides the little clip-on locks. And that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and quickly show off the hilts first, and then I'll bring the helmet over. We're going to go ahead and start with this one. Now this one here will be using a total of 4 retention screws. There's 2 right here, and there's 2 on the other side. And like I said, this will use a 1" blade. Now this one does not feature a removable chassis. Technically you could, but you would have to remove an extra screw. So to get access to the chassis, you're not going to be unscrewing it from the pommel. You're going to be unscrewing it right here, about the center area, which is just below the buttons. And just like that, you have access to your chassis right there. Like I said, mine is the Profi version, so you can see it right there. On the other side, as you would expect, you have your USB-C. Oh, hold on here. There you go. You got your USB-C charging port right there, and a removable battery. Like I said, this chassis by default does not remove, unless if you were to remove the additional screw located up here, then you could. Then when everything's set and done, you just go ahead and reconnect everything, slide it all together, and screw it back on, and you are good to go. Next up, of course, for this one, if you needed access to the chassis on this, you will just go ahead and simply remove the pommel right here. And the chassis on this one is 100% removable as well. So for this one, it's going to line up one way. You're just going to go ahead and look for the arrows right here. Look where the buttons are, and it's going to be facing that way in terms of the connection. Slide it in, and you are good to go. Now for this one, this will use a total of 2 retention screws, and this one will be using the thinner retention screws out of the 2, if you were curious. Overall, both hilts feel good in the hands. Now for me, I am not skilled at dual wielding sabers, I mean double bladed yeah, but obviously it's not dual wielding, so I don't have any skills in this area or training, so don't expect me to go outside or do anything fancy. Plus there's still a heat wave going on. It's miserable out there at this point in time. But yeah, overall they look very nice and feel comfortable in the hands. But we'll fire this up in just a minute, so you can go ahead and check out the fonts. Let me go ahead and bring over the Darth Revan helmet. Now for the helmet, if you're curious in terms of materials it's made of, or you're wanting to know what head size it's going to fit or that's going to go up to, you could find that information in the product description on the website, which I have linked to that in the of course description down below. All right, and thus Revan has been revealed to be a mannequin this entire time. No, but for real, if you guys are curious in terms of the outfit that the mannequin's wearing, it's nothing crazy. It's just like one of the inexpensive like Darth Revan Halloween costumes off Amazon if you're curious. But this helmet, this is what you would be getting, or not would, you will be getting if you go ahead and get this on artsabers.com. Give you guys a closer look here. Nice detailing on the mask, or I should say helmet. See, it's always different with the Revan because, you know, a lot of times you see it with as a mask, others have done it in a helmet. I don't know if there's an official saying in terms of if it's a mask or helmet, or it doesn't really matter as long as you're just able to capture the look of Revan as far as the outfit goes. But you guys could be the initial judge. Here is the inside. Well, obviously pitch black, but there is like a felt type padding material on the inside to offer some form of cushion. Now if you're curious for the cosplayers out there, is it possible to add like some kind of fan element in here? I wouldn't know because I don't have that skill level per se, nor have I done anything like that before, but you might be able to. I'm sure there's different alternations, or you can just go with the mask option instead of a helmet, but you know, I'm pretty sure you got many options as far as Revan goes, or little options. I don't really know. I've always wanted to get an official cosplay for Darth Revan. I just have yet to, you know, do that thing where it's like buy it now because it's a lot of money. Well, it's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on now. Like I said, it does fit my head. I don't have a tiny head, nor do I have a large head. I don't know what my head size is, but it does fit me. So if it fits me, I'm sure it's going to fit most of you. So let's go ahead and do it right now. Alright, so here is the helmet fully on. Alright. So yeah, it does fit. Like for me, the easiest way to put the helmet on is to start with the back section, like so, and then move it forward. Like I said, back and then forward. And then to remove, I like to lift up, so I do the opposite, and then lift off, and then I am good to go. I feel like there might be a little bit of room to put like a small fan towards where the mouth section is. I think you might have a little bit of a cavity there to work with if you wanted to add a fan. That's my best guess though. But overall, the helmet is very nice. There's not really many options as far as, well, if you're one of the people that prefer like official stuff like Hasbro type things, there really isn't anything out there. The only other one that I've seen was like some other third parties and Etsy's and things like that. But if you're already considering getting the Darth Revan lightsaber and you're wanting like a cool prop to display it with it, then I think this is a cool accessory to have nonetheless. So let me go ahead and bring the hilts over. Now for the hilts, we're just going to simply start one at a time. We'll just shuffle through a few different fonts. Now, the fonts are going to be your typical TXQ Saber bundles, so the stuff that you get by default is what's going to be pre-included on here, which means that you are going to be getting a lot of stuff right off the bat. Now, this does also include gesture controls out of the box, so you don't have to add anything yourself, unless if you're just wanting to add a Darth Revan font and things like that, then of course you'd have to go from scratch from there. So for this, I'm just going to, since this one has 4 retention screws, I'm just going to screw the top ones on both ends, and it should be fine as far as I'm aware, but we'll find out as we go, right? Turn that off, and let's go ahead and turn this on. Like I said, this is a 2-button setup, and since it's currently in sleep mode, I do need to press a button before I could use gesture control. Starting with the speeder bike. And like I said, you do have, again, gesture control, twist on, and twist off. I like that speeder bike saber font. It's a fun one. Just something about the speeder bike I've always been a big fan of, or just scout troopers in general. In fact, let's go ahead and ask you guys this question. What Star Wars vehicle do you like the most? Whether it's a heavy vehicle, light vehicle, let me know. Or just transports. You know what, just vehicle in general. Just make it simple. Let's see.
What is this? Team C. Looks. I am told it is the Dark. Cal Kestis.
So like I said, it's going to have your standard Saber font package that you would get through like THQ. Now this one already feels great because there's nothing in the way as far as materials go. It's just a nice overall hilt. And like I said, you do have a lot of extra room there, so you could customize that if you want to add a wrap or not. I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to do personally. I feel like I kind of want to add a wrap to it. Not the one that it came with, just because, you know, I got plenty of extras on those, but might want to try something different. Maybe like a real leather wrap or something. I'm always trying to practice something a little different than what I'm accustomed to. And whether or not if I'm good at it, who really knows, but you know, it doesn't hurt to try, right? Go ahead and put this down. Let me go ahead and bring the other one, because I know this one's going to be a little bit on the stranger side for me to wield, just because of the, you know, these spikes and all this, the material that sticks out here. Now this one, like I said, will use the smaller retention screws, and it's a total of 2, which is going to be holding this blade together. And then what I'll do, just for a little extra fun, so you can see the helmet a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and bring the helmet, put it on, and switch between some fonts and whatnot. I'm not going to speak, just to, you know, keep a little bit more proper, or not proper, just because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be really muffled. So here we go. But at the same time, I could see if it gets really hot in here or not.
I can see him in my mind's eye.
Starting to get a little warm in there. I was seeing how long I tolerate it. Plus, I didn't have good visual settings in terms of if I was going to be hitting like my backdrop here or something important. Plus, I wasn't sure where my dog was, so.
Remember, a Jedi can see going through him.
Now, speakers on these are also good. Let's see.
Stretch out with your feelings.
There we go. Nope. Oh, copyright there.
I suggest you try it again, Luke.
No.
This time, let go your conscious self.
No, I don't want to let go of copyright.
And act on instinct.
Let's see.
Tell me, is this training?
My training? Angel.
So there you go with that. So overall, this one, like I said, this one feels the most weird one to wield, just because again you have, you know, these spikes and stuff that come from like down here all the way up. There's a total of 3. So, which means gripping this just feels a little bit more awkward versus a saber that doesn't have all that in a way, or even a control box. So a lot easier to swing versus the other one. I mean, you could swing, don't get me wrong. It's just, it feels a little bit more weirder, a little bit more awkward. Might take a little bit more time to get adjusted to if you really wanted to go that route. Oh, I already activated it. It's got a mind of its own. But yeah, overall, what do I think of the Revan bundle from Art Sabers? Overall, it's a pretty good bundle. Like I said, if you are a big fan of Darth Revan as a character and you're trying to add something cool to your display and something a little bit extra, then, you know, getting the all-in bundle with the helmets is a pretty good way to go about it, in my honest opinion. Now, like I said, you don't have to get both hilts. There are different options. So if you just want one of the hilts, maybe you like this one over this one or vice versa, then you can go with that option with the helmet as well. Again, you also have your 3 different install options, from just simply RGB all the way to Profi. You could opt in to get them with the blade, without the blade, and all that fun stuff. As far as the helmet goes, like I said, the helmet fits my head perfectly fine with no issues whatsoever. I am able to see nonetheless, and I'm glad that I actually had that padding there, because honestly, if it didn't have that padding, I feel like maybe it would be a little bit more uncomfortable. But because of all the padding that's already in here, it just felt comfortable on my head regardless. And like I said, there might be some extra room, especially towards this bottom lip here, if you wanted to install like a custom fan for some kind of airflow for your cosplay purposes. You should be able to do that nonetheless. I feel like maybe you might be able to just Velcro it here too. But overall, what do you guys think about this bundle? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, thank you folks over at Art Sabers for making this review possible. And like I said, if you are curious or just want to check out more information, I have a link to their website down below and to the different bundles. But until then, you guys have a wonderful day, and always remember, may the Force be with you.